Tonight, as the sky slowly darkens and the last traces of sunlight fade beyond the horizon, I invite you to join me on a quiet but powerful journey through the universe, using my telescope as a bridge between Earth and the deep cosmos. What you are about to experience is not a simulation, not stock footage, and not images taken by massive space observatories. These are live views and real images captured through my own telescope, looking directly at some of the most iconic and awe-inspiring objects in the night sky: the Andromeda Galaxy, Saturn, Jupiter, the Orion Nebula, and our own moon. Each object tells a different story, not just about space, but about time, scale, and our place in the universe. I begin by carefully aligning the telescope, a process that requires patience and precision. As the mount locks onto the stars, there is a sense of anticipation, because every movement of the telescope is a step away from Earth and deeper into the cosmos. The air is calm, the sky is steady, and the stars appear sharp. This is the perfect moment to start our observation. The first target is the Andromeda Galaxy. As the telescope slews across the sky, I center it on a faint, hazy patch that might not look impressive to the naked eye. But once the galaxy comes into focus through the telescope, everything changes. What you are seeing now is not just a distant object, it is an entire galaxy, similar in size and structure to our own Milky Way. The light entering the telescope began its journey around 2.5 million years ago, long before humans ever walked the Earth. Every photon hitting the camera sensor tonight has traveled across intergalactic space, passing through darkness for millions of years just to reach this moment. The core of the Andromeda Galaxy appears brighter, with a soft glow that gradually fades into elongated arms. These spiral arms are filled with billions of stars, dust lanes, and nebulae, although they appear subtle through amateur equipment. Even so, the sheer scale of what we are observing is overwhelming. This galaxy contains over 1 trillion stars, and yet here it is, fitting into the field of view of a telescope in my backyard. As I capture images and adjust exposure, the details slowly emerge, revealing the graceful structure of our nearest galactic neighbor. As we move away from Andromeda, there is a strange feeling of humility. We are observing something so massive, yet so distant, that it reminds us how small we truly are. Andromeda is moving toward our Milky Way, and in about 4 billion years, the two galaxies will collide and merge. Tonight's live view is not just a snapshot of space, but a glimpse into the future of our cosmic home. Next, the telescope turns toward Saturn, one of the most beautiful and recognizable planets in our solar system. Unlike Andromeda, Saturn is relatively close, at a distance of about 1.4 billion kilometers. Yet the emotional impact of seeing it live through a telescope is unmatched. As Saturn comes into focus, its rings immediately stand out, suspended in space like a cosmic sculpture. The planet itself appears as a pale golden disk, with subtle cloud bands stretching across its atmosphere. The rings are crisp and clearly defined, tilted at an angle that allows us to see their layered structure. These rings are made of countless particles of ice and rock, ranging in size from tiny grains to massive chunks. Some of the light we see is reflected off these icy particles, giving the rings their bright appearance. As I increase magnification, a few of Saturn's moons become visible, appearing as tiny points of light nearby. Each of these moons is a world of its own, with unique geology and potential mysteries. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, has lakes of liquid methane and a thick atmosphere, making it one of the most intriguing objects in the solar system. Knowing that these moons are visible in the same frame adds another layer of wonder to the observation. Watching Saturn live feels almost unreal. It looks like an image taken from a spacecraft, yet it is being captured in real time, from Earth, through a telescope. There is no delay, no filter between us and the planet, just light traveling through space and glass to reach our eyes. From Saturn, the telescope shifts toward Jupiter, the giant of the solar system. Even before focusing, Jupiter stands out due to its brightness. Once centered and magnified, the planet reveals itself as a massive striped sphere with powerful presence. Jupiter's cloud bands are clearly visible, alternating light and dark regions caused by complex atmospheric dynamics. One of the most captivating aspects of observing Jupiter live is its constant motion. The planet rotates rapidly, completing a full rotation in just under 10 hours. Over the course of a single observing session, you can actually see changes in the position of its cloud features. The Great Red Spot, a gigantic storm larger than Earth, may be visible depending on Jupiter's rotation at the time of observation. Surrounding Jupiter are its 4 largest moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Through the telescope, they appear as bright points aligned in a straight line, constantly changing position as they orbit the planet. These moons are not just visual companions, they are among the most fascinating worlds in the solar system. Europa, for example, is believed to have a subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust, raising the possibility of life beyond Earth. Capturing Jupiter live is both exciting and challenging. Atmospheric turbulence can cause the image to shimmer, but during moments of steady air, the details snap into clarity. Each clear moment feels like a reward, revealing the immense power and beauty of this gas giant. Leaving the planets behind, the telescope now points toward a region of space where stars are being born. The Orion Nebula lies within the constellation Orion, easily visible to the naked eye as a fuzzy star in the hunter's sword. Through the telescope, however, it transforms into a breathtaking cloud of gas and dust. As the nebula comes into view, swirling shapes and glowing regions fill the frame. The nebula emits light due to energetic radiation from young, massive stars embedded within it. These stars ionize the surrounding gas, causing it to glow in shades of gray and, with longer exposures, subtle hints of color. At the heart of the Orion Nebula lies the trapezium cluster, a small group of extremely young stars that are shaping the nebula around them. These stars are only a few million years old, which makes them infants on a cosmic timescale. Observing this region live feels like witnessing creation in progress, a stellar nursery where new suns are forming. The structure of the nebula appears dynamic and layered, with bright arcs, dark lanes, and soft glowing regions blending together. Each part of the nebula tells a story of gravity, radiation, and time. Some areas are collapsing to form new stars, while others are being blown apart by stellar winds. As I capture images of the Orion Nebula, there is a deep sense of connection to the universe. The atoms in these clouds are the same atoms that make up our planet and our bodies. In a very real sense, we are made of star material, and observing a place where stars are born feels like looking at our own origins. Finally, the telescope turns toward the moon, our closest celestial neighbor. Unlike the distant galaxies and nebulae, the moon feels familiar, yet it never fails to amaze. As the lunar surface fills the field of view, the level of detail becomes astonishing. Craters, mountains, and vast plains are visible in sharp relief. The play of light and shadow across the moon's surface reveals its rugged landscape. Along the terminator, the line between night and day, shadows stretch long, emphasizing the height of mountains and the depth of craters. Each crater tells a story of ancient impacts, frozen in time for billions of years. Zooming in further, smaller features become visible: rills, ridges, and subtle variations in surface texture. The moon is not just a dead rock, it is a record of the early solar system. By studying its surface, scientists have learned about the history of impacts and geological processes that shaped the inner planets. Observing the moon live through a telescope feels almost like orbiting it. The clarity and immediacy of the view create a powerful sense of presence. This is the same moon that humans walked on, the same moon that controls Earth's tides, and the same moon that has inspired myths and stories for thousands of years. As the observing session comes to an end, there is a moment to reflect on what we have seen. From a neighboring galaxy millions of light years away to the familiar surface of the moon, this journey through the telescope spans unimaginable distances and timescales. Each object observed tonight represents a different chapter of the universe's story. These live views and images are a reminder that the universe is not distant or unreachable. With patience, curiosity, and a telescope, anyone can connect with the cosmos. The light we capture is real, the objects are real, and the experience is deeply personal. Looking up at the sky, it becomes clear that astronomy is not just about science, it is about perspective. It teaches us humility, wonder, and appreciation for the fragile world we call home. As the telescope powers down and the stars continue their silent motion overhead, one thing remains certain: the universe is vast, beautiful, and waiting to be explored. And this is only a small part of what the night sky has to offer. Every clear night brings a new opportunity to observe, to learn, and to feel connected to something far greater than ourselves. Through this telescope, the universe becomes not just something we study, but something we experience, live in real time.